Once upon a time, in the city of Lagos, there lived a university student named Amaka. Life wasn't easy for her. Amaka struggled daily to eat, pay her fees, and survive each day. One hot afternoon, while walking home from school, she saw a man selling second-hand used phone by the roadside. Her old phone had just stopped working and she needed a new one badly. After checking through the display, she picked a simple but sleek-looking smartphone. It was very cheap, so cheap. The man said it was a powerful phone that will never fail. Amaka laughed, thinking he was just hyping the phone. She paid him and walked away, happy to finally own a working phone again. That night, she charged the phone and started setting it up. Everything seemed normal until a strange message popped up on the screen. Don't forget to carry your umbrella tomorrow. Amaka was confused. The sky was clear. There was no sign of rain. The next day, just before leaving for her lectures, Amaka remembered the message. Something pushed her to take an umbrella, even though it looked sunny. 2 hours later, while in class, the sky suddenly turned dark. Rain poured down. Everyone was soaked, but Amaka was dry. It felt strange. Could it be coincidence? Maybe it was luck. But then, that night, she received another message. Prepare for a surprise test in your economic class tomorrow. This was even weirder. Still, Amaka studied hard that night. The next morning, her economic lecturer walked in and announced a surprise test. Amaka's hands started to shake. Something wasn't right with this phone. How could it know these things? In the next few days, the phone kept sending her short messages. Don't eat from Tolu's pot tomorrow. Avoid taking the red bus by 2 p.m. Smile at the man in the brown shirt. Every single message turned out to be useful or true. When she avoided eating Tolu's food, she had found out later that Tolu added too much salt by mistake. When she avoided the red bus, she had heard that it broke down in the middle of Third Mainland Bridge. Amaka started to trust the phone, but also fear it. She stopped telling her friends about the messages. They would think she was mad. But deep down in her heart, she knew that the phone was not ordinary, and she didn't know who or what was sending her the messages. One day, the phone gave her the name of a cryptocurrency to buy. She used her last 3,000 naira and followed the instructions. Within 2 days, her 3,000 naira had become 100,000 naira. She couldn't believe it. The phone had just sent her another message. Now, give 10,000 naira to the old beggar beside your hostel. She obeyed, though it was hard. But after she gave the money, her luck doubled. More investments, more wins, and even a free scholarship. Amaka went from broke to comfortable in just 2 months. Her roommates were noticing, but with the money came fear. The phone was now sending her messages at night, scary ones. Someone is watching you. Be careful of Ada. Don't sleep too early tonight. She stopped sleeping well. Her eyes were always tired. Amaka wanted to throw the phone away, but she couldn't. One night, as Amaka was laying on her bed, a new message popped up. It was different from the usual short warnings. It said, "In 7 days you will die if you don't return what was never yours." Amaka sat up, her heart beating fast. What did this mean? Return what? To who? She quickly typed back in the phone, asking questions, but there was no reply, just silence and fear. She tried to ignore it, thinking it was a bad joke, but the next day, she received another message. 6 days left. The countdown has begun. The phone screen blinked, then returned to normal. Amaka knew her time was running out. Amaka skipped class the next day and took the phone to a phone repairer in Yaba. She asked him to check if there was any app sending the messages or any tracking software. The man checked everything. The phone was clean. Then she tried another trick. She reset the phone completely and removed the SIM card. But even after, a new message appeared. 5 days left. This was not about the phone. It was about her. Amaka sat on a bench and cried. The phone was not the problem. The problem was something else. But what had she taken that didn't belong to her? Amaka remembered an old woman who sold herbs near the school gates, Mama Nkechi. People said she had a gift. Amaka took the phone to her and explained everything. The woman listened quietly, her eyes never leaving the phone. When Amaka finished talking, Mama Nkechi said, "This is a spirit phone. It doesn't belong to this world. You have been using power that was not meant for you. It's time to give it back." Amaka begged her for help. The woman said, "You need to find the owner, or the spirit will collect something more valuable from you." Amaka rushed back to the street where she had bought the phone. She asked around about the man who sold phones by the roadside, but nobody knew him. Even the storekeepers said that there had been no phone seller there for months. Amaka felt weak. The man she bought the phone from that night might not have been real. Maybe he was a spirit. Maybe it was all a trap. She sat on the ground, lost and confused. The phone vibrated again. 4 days left. You are running out of time. Amaka screamed. People stared, but she didn't care anymore. She just wanted to leave. Remembering the message that warned her to be careful of Ada, Amaka began to watch her roommate closely. Ada was always on her phone, whispering to someone, hiding things in her wardrobe. One night, Amaka followed her secretly and saw Ada giving something to a strange man in a car. The next morning, Amaka asked her directly, "What do you know about this phone?" Ada froze, her lip trembled, and then she whispered, "It was never meant for you. I was supposed to buy it. I sent you there to get it for me." Amaka was shocked. Ada confessed that she was trying to join a secret group that gave powers through the use of technologies, but something went wrong and Amaka got the phone instead, Ada said. Amaka returned to Mama Nkechi, this time with some candles, white clothes as the woman had requested. They prayed, poured water on the ground, and called the spirit of the phone. The wind howled outside even though the sky was clear. The phone lit up by itself and showed the message, 3 days. Return what is not yours. Mama Nkechi gasped. This phone took someone's life for your gain. The person wants it back. Amaka fell to her knees and begged, "How do I return it?" The old woman gave her a mirror, a white egg, and told her to visit the cemetery at midnight. Amaka was shaking as she entered the silent cemetery alone. She held the egg, the mirror, and the phone. The moon was full and her heart was beating like a drum. She followed Mama Nkechi's instruction, placed the mirror on the tombstone, broke the egg beside it, and put the phone face down. She waited for minutes that felt like hours, and suddenly a cold wind blew. The phone screen turned on by itself. A face appeared, a young man, angry. It whispered, "You stole my second chance." Then everything went dark. When Amaka woke up, It was morning. She was still in the cemetery. The phone was gone. In its place was a note. You have been spared, but someone must pay. Choose, Ada or yourself. She ran back to her hostel crying. She didn't want Ada to die, but she didn't want to die either. That night, she couldn't sleep. The spirit wanted the soul. If she did nothing, the spirit would choose. By morning, Ada was gone. Her things were in the room, but her bed was empty. No one knew where she went. No goodbyes, no messages. After Ada disappeared, everything went quiet. No more messages, no more warnings. Amaka felt guilty but relieved. Her money remained, her scholarship stayed, but she had no peace. Each night, she heard whispers in her dreams. Shadows moved around her bed. Her heart was always heavy. She had gotten what she wanted, but lost more than she expected. She wondered, was she truly free or just living on borrowed time? But months passed. Amaka became more careful with life, and she never bought anything from strange places. But one morning, she overheard a new girl in school say, I just bought a new phone from a roadside seller. It is amazing. He told me I would pass my test today, and I did. Amaka turned sharply and asked, what does the phone look like? The girl smiled and said, it is sleek and simple, very cheap, but it knows too much. Amaka's hands went cold. The phone was back. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you in my next story.